You've finally landed in Tokyo. You've planned everything out and cannot wait to start exploring this fascinating country. But there's just one more thing you need to figure out first. How the hell do I go from the airport, which is 14 kilometers away from the city center, to the hotel? In most other countries I've been to, it's usually quite straightforward. Take a train if you're going to town, take a bus if you're on a budget, take a taxi if you feel like getting scammed, and take a bike if you're out of your mind.
You serious?
But in Japan, it's like, do you want to take this slightly funny-looking train, or this very expensive train, or this cheap train that's as fast as the expensive train? So in this video, I'll quickly show you how to get from Haneda Airport to Tokyo, Yokohama, Kyoto, and Osaka. I will explain how each option differs from each other so you can decide which one is best for you. Let's get started. Your options are the train, the bus, and the taxi. Of the three, trains are the most affordable and reliable, but you do need to spend a few minutes planning your route. It's your only option if you're heading to Kyoto, Osaka, or Yokohama. Taxis will take you directly to your hotel, but they are much more expensive. Use a taxi if budget is not an issue, or if you arrive too late and nothing else is available. Buses are somewhere in between. They're slightly more expensive than trains, go directly to some hotels in the city, and you don't have to haul your luggage around. However, both taxis and buses can get caught in traffic, making travel times unpredictable, especially during rush hours. So do keep that in mind. Hopefully that gives you a general picture of how transport works at Haneda Airport. Now let me explain a bit more about each of them so that you can make a fully well-informed decision and know how to use what you chose. There are two different trains you can take from any of the three terminals at Haneda Airport, the Keikyu train and the Tokyo monorail. If you're heading to Tokyo, both trains can at least get you to the Yamanote line, where you can transfer to reach your final destination. While the Tokyo monorail ends there, the Keikyu line goes a little further. It connects directly to the subway Asakusa line, meaning some Keikyu trains will continue north on the subway tracks after reaching Shinagawa. Therefore, if you're heading to Asakusa or Tokyo Skytree, you can simply stay on board. Also, Shinagawa is a major transport hub where you have access to Shinkansen. Therefore, if you're heading to Nagoya, Kyoto, or Osaka, you should take the Keikyu train to Shinagawa and transfer to the Shinkansen there. Additionally, instead of going north towards Shinagawa, some Keikyu trains head south to Yokohama, so if that's where you're going, you should take the Keikyu train as well. But other than the route differences, the Keikyu and Tokyo monorail trains have similar seats, ticket prices, speeds, intervals, and operating hours. So for most of you heading to Tokyo, your choice really comes down to which train happens to be there when you arrive. Just to make your life even easier, here's a few questions you can ask yourself to quickly decide which train to use. Are you going to Yokohama? Take the Keikyu train. Are you going to Osaka or Kyoto? Take the Keikyu train to Shinagawa and transfer to the Shinkansen there. Do you have a JR pass? If so, take the Tokyo monorail. If you're going to Tokyo, just do a quick Google Maps search and take whichever train it suggests. Just remember, train schedules can vary depending on the time of day, so search for your actual departure time or just search when you arrive. Using the train is actually very easy once you've decided which one to take. Exit customs into the arrivals hall, go straight ahead, and follow the signs. The ticket gates for both trains are just 30 seconds away. You need to pay the fare with an IC card. If you don't have one, you can ask a staff member at the gate to get one. If you have an iPhone, you can just add a Suica or Pasmo to your Apple Wallet and use that instead. Check Google Maps for the correct platform and touch your IC card or your iPhone on the gate to enter. At the platform, check the direction, departure time, terminal station, and train classification to make sure it's the correct one. If you're unsure, ask a staff member nearby. You don't need to know Japanese. Just show your destination on your phone, point at the train, and act confused. You'll understand if it's a yes or a no. For those of you traveling with luggage, you can carry your luggage with you on both the Keikyu and monorail trains. You don't need to book extra luggage space. In my opinion, the beauty of the trains is that you are always in control. You have access to all the info, from the fare to stops to travel time, on your phone. This is a luxury you won't have with buses or taxis. Talking about buses, buses are a good option if you know there's a stop close to your hotel and don't mind paying a little more. You can check all the routes available on the official Haneda Airport website or at the ticket counter immediately to your left after exiting to the arrivals hall. While the buses cover most popular locations in the city, they're not as frequent as the trains. There are usually only 1 or 2 buses every hour for each route, so you might have to wait for a while. One reason you might want to choose the bus over the train is that there are several midnight bus routes available outside the train's operating hours. So if you arrive late and don't have the budget for a taxi, a bus would be the obvious choice. To take the bus, I suggest buying your tickets at the ticket counter instead of using the ticket machines. There are many routes operated by several companies, so it's really better to speak to a staff and let them figure out the best route for you. Tickets in hand, you should go downstairs to the first floor and wait at the bus stops just outside the terminal building. The ticket will tell you which bus stop you should stay at. If you don't mind paying a premium or have a ton of luggage and the buses don't stop at your hotel or arrive too late and nothing else is available, you should take a taxi. There are metered taxis and flat fare taxis available at the airport, and you don't need to book either in advance. While the flat fare taxis are obviously the better choice, they are rarer, and there is no dedicated taxi stand for them. So you have to ask a staff to find one for you when you get there. Use these magic words.
定額タクシー
Note that for both the metered and the flat fare taxis, you will have to pay the toll on top of your fare when applicable, and there are midnight/early morning surcharges if you use one during those hours. Also, metered taxis can charge you an additional fee for being stuck in traffic for too long, so don't be surprised if you had to pay a little more than what you thought. Under normal circumstances, you are expected to spend 9,000 to 12,000 yen with everything included. But once you got the wallet ready, taking the taxi itself is quite easy. The taxi stands are just outside the first floor of the terminal building, next to the bus stops. Even though most taxi drivers don't speak English, you can just show them the destination on your phone, and that should be everything you have to do. As for payment, most taxis take credit cards, but I recommend getting enough cash before you hop on, just in case. Lastly, as I mentioned, travel time by taxi will be affected by traffic, so take that into account when planning your day. So these are the 3 transport options you have at Haneda Airport. I hope you now know which one to choose and how to use it. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments section down below. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.